One thing I really like doing it, which may be kind of unpatriotic, but I really like being able to file bankruptcy and getting rid of other people's taxes because we all symbolically probably hate paying taxes. And a lot of people want to know. I mean, they'll just call up on the phone and say, "Can I get rid of tax debt?" Well, it really depends on certain. You have to meet certain criteria, but the short answer is yes. But there are you have to meet certain qualifications, you have to make sure that you're talking about which kind of taxes. You cannot get rid of payroll taxes, withholding taxes that you as the employer are responsible party are responsible for. So you can't get rid of the payroll taxes you didn't pay for your employees' taxes that you were supposed to have withheld and paid to the government if you're a business person, or if you're just the person that worked in the business and you had check signing authority. You are what's called a responsible party, and you can really get in trouble or not be able to discharge tax debt in that regard. But in sales taxes, if you didn't pay those, you can't get rid of those. And you just think of it this way: those are all called trust fund taxes. If you are taking this money for the government as sales tax, or you are taking your employees' payroll taxes that's supposed to go to the government so they pay their taxes on time, you're entrusted with that money. You're supposed to pay it to the government. You can't get rid of trust fund liability in bankruptcy. But income tax is a different matter. The question is whether a tax debt is dischargeable. And that means whether you can get rid of it entirely. To be able to discharge taxes, income taxes, the tax year that we are talking about has to be due and payable more than 3 years ago. And it is right now, it is November of 2012. 2011 is the last tax year that is due and payable, because taxes are not due and payable until April 16th of each year. So 2011 was the last year due, 2010, and 2009. So right now, if you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you cannot get rid of 11, 10, or 9. And on April 16th, 2013, you cannot get rid of 12, 11, and 10. 9 drops off that 3-year calculation. But in addition to being unable to get rid of taxes that are within the last 3 years due and payable, you also, to get rid of taxes, have to have filed your returns within, more than 2 years ago. So I have people come in here who are tax protesters or unorganized. It's one or the other. But they come in, they haven't filed any taxes for 10 years. And then they tell me they just filed all 10 years of taxes. Well, that person can't get rid of any of those taxes right now because they hadn't filed the returns more than 2 years ago. So someone like that, I tell them they have to file all their returns, wait 2 years and 1 day, and then we can get rid of most of that tax liability. But I've had people where I told them to wait, file their returns, wait 2 years and a day, come back in, we file their bankruptcy, we get rid of $40,000, $50,000 taxes, penalties, and interest. Another issue that comes into play but doesn't determine whether you can get rid of the taxes, whether the taxing authorities have filed a tax lien. Because the lien remains a lien on everything you have. The best in the tax issues, don't just listen to this and think you know about what's going to happen with your taxes in bankruptcy. If you owe taxes, you owe it to yourself to go talk to somebody about bankruptcy law if it's a lot of taxes, because I can help you plan. We can set up a strategy to effectively deal with them. I mean, I've gotten rid of $150,000 worth of taxes or more before, or I've set up payment plans for those taxes in a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 11 where they paid pennies on the dollar of the taxes. In Chapter 7, you would get rid of dischargeable taxes. And in Chapter 13 or 11, you'd pay back a percentage of the dischargeable taxes at a significantly reduced rate. And if you do a 13 or an 11, if no lien has been filed, you pay no interest and penalties on that for the whole time you're paying it back, which is a big, big savings.